said, don't run. It's pointless. You'll be useless when you get there.
I'm a shadow of my former fit self, Tom. You were complaining about the stairs earlier on. I tell you what, there's a couple of hills here at Centurion too that I've got my number tonight.
But that's the stat. That stat right there is what we're looking at. But even for that stat to come true, Pom, they'll need wickets in the first 6. One of these two is very crucial for them.
And I think with the experience that MI Captown batters do have, what they will take a bit of knowledge out of was how the runs are scored at the back of an innings. So if it is a quiet start, from MI Captown, and they don't get off to a flyer, they can always know they can catch up towards it. It's a very high scoring ground, and anyone can score a big one. Ryan Rickleton, look at those numbers, 200s, and in some searing hot form.
Lovely. Just a little bit of nibble. Just decked away from Rassie van der Dussen. And Lungengidi, dot after dot after dot. Those are absolute money ball savers.
Yeah, what I enjoyed about that delivery specifically is you can see van der Dussen coming outside off. Gidi not falling into the trap, just going a little bit wider. Is getting the ball to shape. It's a good piece of bowling.
Yeah, great piece of bowling. And as a batter, that's the right thing to do. Get inside the line of the ball. Hope the bowler bowls more leg in middle stump so you can access the leg side. Gidi is just being disciplined there.
And again, what he's tended to do in recent times is to go with that wobble seam. Lungengidi, and at the start of the tournament, didn't pick up wickets. He then got the hat-trick, only hat-trick of Betway SA20, but he has been decent. He's got the 3rd most dot balls in the tournament. And so whilst the wickets haven't come, and generally why you pick him in your side is because up at the front he gets people out, it might seem like he's been ineffective, but it's just that the luck hasn't run with him.
Another Absa money ball there. That's a good start for the Capitals. I'll tell you what, it has been a season of extremes for Gidi. A lot of dot balls, wickets in clumps, but 6s as well. He's gone for a few runs this season, but this is the hat-trick against MI Captown at their home ground.
I guess DSG.
I beg your pardon.
It's not the way he'd imagine he'd get a hat-trick though. With the ones that have gone past the edge.
Oh, yes.
That's a top shot. Just a little bit too full. And those 6s Robin's talking about. There's one, 6 for none.
That's all Rassie van der Dussen needed was just a slight change in length. Just that little bit fuller and going with the swing, freeing those hands up.
So pull the length even a little bit further back, because then it's a nudge here and a nudge there. He just gets one. Gidi goes fuller there and doesn't go wobble seam, looks to swing it away, and he thinks, right, go for the big drive and I could nick you off. That's not what happens. Disappears for 6. Here's Williams.
And that can happen with bowlers. As in, when you're looking for that wicket, sometimes when you put pressure on the batter and you're hoping to bowl that length where it's just full enough where you kind of get him into the drive, but not full enough for him to kind of free his arms. But yet again, the margin of error on a track like this is very, very slim.
Yeah, I need to ask you a question. As Oldens continually try to sort of keep up with the game, and the thinking is not always the same. It doesn't kind of follow from time immemorial all the way through, especially as the formats change. I say a greedy ball, and I can see you sort of thinking there when to attack, how to balance attacking and not so as a bowler starting off.
And the last ball, I actually did not mind going for 6. Yes, he went slightly fuller, but what I did appreciate is that he didn't go to a slower ball or go to a bouncer. Potentially looking slightly full, got punished for it, but I quite enjoyed the fact that he kept it simple throughout that over. And I think I always harp on about it as a bowler that bowled in the half-field quite often, is that you keep hitting the top of the stumps. Look at the length. Yes, that'll say short, but that's a good length for me. You force the batter to go out of his game plan almost, because if you're giving free balls with the slower ball or the bouncer, and I always want to enjoy bowling the bouncer, but you sometimes bowl the bouncer when you feel like it's under pressure, when you're under pressure. But he kept it simple throughout the over, and it wasn't that much fuller than the rest of the deliveries.
Yeah, I think it just seemed so. Need to have a look at that pitch map again for where that one pitched. I'll sneak across for a single. Yeah, so in effect, he's probably just tried to stay the same as far as length is concerned. And it just seemed that much fuller because it's the fullest of the lot. But it's still within that length area. So it's just past that one. And I guess what we could say is Van der Dissen was going to go anyway because he had to, couldn't afford for a maiden.
Yeah, and that's why we're talking about margin of errors. Really, really slim on certain wickets. And you know that in this wicket, if you just play good cricketing shots, there's a lot of purchase for big runs here.
And in support, you'd probably say fuller than shorter if it is seaming or swinging, which is what had happened for Gidi.
Yeah, and I think again, vital in keeping the consistency of trying to hit the top of the stump. So when we say we try to get the batsman to go away from his game plan, to acknowledge that these two have got playing in the half, they would have known that value for shots, don't need to go slogging, but the pressure told. And then on a different day, potentially that is an outside edge, or it squeezes out to the deep point and he gets the wicket. So yes, it was a good shot, but you almost feel that it forced Rassie van der Dissen to go away from his game plan.
Eight without loss. Good start for Pretoria Capitals. Yeah, looking to go over the top. At liberty to do so because of the field restrictions. Doesn't strike it purely, but it's the desired result. Away it goes for 4.
Erring in length here again, Ngidi. Shooting a touch fuller. Yeah, just got the bottom half of the bat. It was in the gap. She can't bowl that full on this track. It does do this from time to time, doesn't it, Chris? It just suddenly keeps low, slows down off the pitch.
Yeah, we're so used to it being a fast and quick one.
Get away with sort of just turning up with a little boot bag, and that's all you ever do. You've got to put the yards in terms of batting, because you never know when you'll be required. It's nicely played in the end. You'll get 4 for it. It's a good ball, yes, and you're unlucky as the bowler, you'll feel that. but he waited and waited and played that so late. Rassie van der Dussen.
Such good batting from van der Dussen. Watch how long. He watches the ball, just waits for the extra bounce from McGeady and just opening the face. And knowing with third man up in the ring, meter either side, races away.
There's something, a whole lot to be said for form batters. And you see that ball squirt away and go for four. Out of form, Rassie van der Dussen probably plays first line and nicks that through to the keeper. But he's able to adjust and he actually gets it off the face of the blade.
Yeah, he played that ball well. He watched it right till the end. And the important thing was he looked to play more the vertical bat rather than the horizontal bat. So if you're playing it late, you want to open the face as late as possible, right under your eyes. And that's what he did really well on that ball.
Yeah, I say they're a prolific partnership. Van der Dussen and Rickleton. The first 2 years, MI Captown were wretched. Just terrible. Despite that, these two would be fantastic. They continually got runs for them, but just could not win games. Then, season 3 go all the way. And here they are once again, and they're still bottom of the table, but they've got a couple of wins on the bounce. And it suddenly looks like, hold on, their team's looking and saying, you don't want to meet them. They look all right. Fielder takes the catch. It's a top catch by Jordan Cox. It was dying on him. Oh, that is a humongous breakthrough.
Yeah, this time pitched the ball up. It was on leg stump. When he had mid-on, back on the boundary line at long on. So good bowling this from Lungi. Pitched it up. Felt like it was going in and then beginning to start to tail away a little bit. And Jordan Cox coming around. And oh, they're going to have to look at that. Does he have his fingers under that ball? They will have a look at that again.
Yes, he does. But it's not our opinion that matters. Yep, looks a clean catch to me. Looked a clean catch initially as well, and it's the slow motion replay that kind of has everybody going, ooh, ah. I would say Cantona, but don't want to bring attention to that. There's the confirmation. Out's the call. And yep, he's disappointed. The biggest disappointment is because of the form he's been in and that he's just picked out the fielder in the deep. Innocuous, the delivery, and he felt that he could hit it, but picks out one man who's placed it long on. Mysteriously so.
Yeah, and you have to say tactically very good. He set the field for it. The bowler obliges, going full. And van der Dussen, usually with the field up, that's a 4 all day. But tactically very good from the Capitals. Van der Dussen, the dangerous Van der Dussen goes to 15. MI Captown 16 for 1.
Yeah, not an easy catch that, because he's got to make his way to his left. You see, he's disgusted with himself actually then. Reza Hendricks back in the side. Makes his way out to the middle. Also from the high felt, as is the case of Rickleton van der Dissen. Made a decent start here. Rate required has already gone up to 10. 16 for 1. And Centurion strikes it at 153. That's a nice shot. Beautifully struck. 4 runs.
It looks like it was a slower ball from Lazard Williams. What impresses me so much about this is he presents the full face, does Ryan Rickleton. Doesn't look to hit it down the ground, just times it nicely. And that's a sign of a man in form. The maker's name straight down the ground, and on this outfield, he races away.
Just pulls the whole lot of passion. Lazard Williams, you've seen it in his celebrations. To fall and caress through the offside for 4.
And he just heard Ryan Rickleton in the stump mark there, shot razzle, and that is a shot. That delivery looked like it was seam up. And over pitching here, wobble seam. It's such a classy shot. When he gets going, he hits some of the prettiest cricket shots you'll ever see. He'll be relishing this challenge.
Yeah, he's all or nothing. Reza Hendricks, it really is. Continually, as you talk about him in terms of a career, there is one knock, and it is a debut knock in one-day internationals in Sri Lanka on a pitch that for everybody else was slow. He got 100, and he only mishit one when he got out. It was a fantastic innings. This is what he does at this ground. 750s and 100. And he strikes at 153. Oh, that's enough. Well bowled. That's the length you're after.
Yeah, it's one of those batters, isn't he?
He's been around for a very long time, Andre Russell, a big Jamaican. He's been thumping deliveries miles and also getting wickets bowling well. 588 matches.
Tell you what, I was talking to him today evening. He's like, I love the cricket. I just hate the travelling now. Like this, I travel too much.
Yeah, someone's got something right if that's what he hates most. Yeah, nicely bowled, bowling into the pitch. Still got the gas. Hurries on to batters. You know why I say that? I know Chris will agree with me here. Because what he should say is, I hate the warm-ups.
I don't appreciate the fact that you singled me out there, Pom, but I tend to agree with you. But yeah, Dreiras is one of those bowlers I honestly wasn't my favourite person to ever face at the death, because he's got such a quick bouncer. He ambles in, doesn't really sprint in, but runs in and hits the wicket really hard. And is what we call a heavy bowler. And when I say heavy bowler, it's got nothing to do with weight at all. It's when he hits the bat, really hits the bat hard. And 141 is still slippery enough to keep you on your toes. He's got such a quick arm action. Pretoria Capitals persisting with that cross-seam delivery. I'm sure Sean Pollock had something to do with that.
What 100%. He'd have been happy to have Andre Russell come into the side as well. Oh, lovely. And that's the cross seam effect. So before you saw the ball just go through sort of hip height, and that would have kind of hit the shiny side and skidded along. And then every so often, it'll hit the pitch as it rotates, and it'll just skip up like that. And decent pace too from Dre Russ.
I always spoke about the ball swinging out of Lungingidi's hand in that first over, and we're talking about cross seam. I would love to know what Sean Pollock would have done if he saw the ball swinging. Would he have gone cross seam or try to swing it a little bit more? Tom, I'll leave this one to you.
I can't speak for him, but having sort of watched him play a whole lot and having sat with him and the theories that he'll come up with regard to just staying one step ahead of all batters, I think he'd be looking to do different things all the time.
Yes, no.
Oh, Hitson is out, you know. So quick across the ground. All's well that ends well, I guess. 28 for 1.